Hey everybody, I'm here to talk about the season 9 episode 4 of Smallville. It was called Echo. First of all, I want to say that I loved this episode. I really did. Um, with this just being such a great season, I don't know which number I would say it is as my favorite. I just really loved it. It had a really comic book feel, action oriented episode to me, and it had a lot of great Clovis moments. I just really enjoyed the episode. But anyway, the episode started off with Clark Kent as the Blur in his costume, the black Superman costume, going to stop a bomb. That there was a lot of hostages. Clark stopped the bomb. Then, after the bomb exploded, he started to. It started to where he was able to read people's minds. He went to the Daily Planet. He saw Lois Lane, and he was able to read her thoughts, and he used it to his advantage at first, seeing that she wanted a donut. He ran and got it for her, just little things like that. This episode had a lot of great Clovis moments, which I know a lot of the people who subscribe are Clovis fans, so I'm sure you all enjoyed that. Chloe, though, she wasn't in this episode a lot. She had about 2 scenes, and I'm sure the Chloe fans aren't happy about that. But I hear that she's supposed to be getting a bigger, well, I don't know if it's a bigger, but she's going to have a storyline next week, so you can relax, maybe. So we'll just see what happens. But yeah, basically the episode was about Clark gaining the ability to temporarily read people's minds, which his father Jor-El gave to him so that he could help to understand humans and the way they act, and he said it would help him on saving them, to where he would better understand them. Clark used his new ability to read people's minds that were at the crash scene and get information out of them, and sorry guys, I'm losing my train of thought. And after he'd done that, he scored a date with Lois. It's not a date, it's just something like a date, he said. And the place that they were going was to the monster truck rally. I know a lot of people don't, even comic book people don't know this, but in the comics, monster trucks are something that Lois Lane loves. She loves to go to them. In the comics, Lois's father was dead, or she believed he was dead, and she said that the only way that she could feel her father's presence, or feel like her father was still with her, or whatever, just to have happy memories of her father, was to go to the monster truck rally, because I guess that's stuff that they did while she was younger, or it was something he enjoyed doing. So that's her love for that probably came as well from her father. Well, anyways, Clark makes the date, but then he finds out that the Toy Man is behind the bombing that happened at the beginning, so he has to skip out on the date. And he goes to the Ace of Clubs, which is the club that, and by the way, the Ace of Clubs is in the comics as well. It's different, but it's in there. And Oliver's supposed to be throwing a party. Now let's get to Oliver for a moment. Oliver goes to Mexico or somewhere. I didn't see a subtitle for where it was. And he starts flirting with some women, buys some drinks. But then one of the women's husband comes in, and he's about to shoot up Oliver. And then Tess shows up. And she looks like Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider. Even the outfit and everything. And she blares guns and gets everybody out of there, and she tries to get Oliver to tell her what's holding him down, why he's punishing himself, but he doesn't say anything, so she just says that she needs him for a board to come and speak to the shareholders, because all of his stock is going down. So anyways, back at the Ace of Clubs, Oliver starts to, well, Clark wants to do the story himself so that Lois doesn't get hurt. So he stands Lois up at the monster truck rally, and, well, Lois shows up anyway in a monster truck, but she's got a cocktail dress on, and she basically wants in on the story. She's upset. Clark can see that reading her memories, but he tells her that he wants the story himself just because he don't want her to be in trouble, is what it is. So Clark gets Lois to leave, and it turns out that the toy man, Oliver goes to give a speech, and he's standing on something, and Oliver is on the teleprompter writing stuff. I mean, not Oliver, but the toy man is writing the teleprompter, and it says that you have to repeat everything that I say, or there's a bomb that you're standing on, and he'll make it blow up. Clark loses his ability by now, just right when he needs it, but it's helped him a lot because he can start to see when people need him, and he's able to read by people's facial expressions and see, just when people are hurting or need his help. So he uses his X-ray vision because he realizes something is wrong, and he sees a bomb, and he knows the toy man is behind it. So he starts to get Chloe evacuates everybody, and he sees the toy man. He goes up. Finally, toy man and Superman see one another, and Superman and toy man are supposed to be the ones that dislike one another, but they've had Oliver Queen have that role. So hopefully now this will establish their rivalry, and I hope that the toy man comes back. So I don't know. Clark realizes that the bomb. See, there's a toy man is there, and Clark says, "Why would you be here if there's a bomb?" So all of a sudden he uses his heat ray vision on him, and his face starts to melt. I'm like, what the heck? But then I realize it's a robot, and that was a very cartoony, comic bookish thing to do, but it wasn't corny, so I liked it. I mean, whenever stuff like that happens if you're not a comic book fan, you don't understand, but like, we just enjoy that kind of stuff. I'm not a big fan of robots or anything, but that was just something that the toy man really would do. He would make a robot duplicate of himself. But there wasn't any toys involved in this episode, really, which was, that was the weird thing. But anyways, Clark goes to Oliver and says that he realizes that Oliver's been hurting, and he sees that now, and that he should have been there for him, and yeah. And Oliver thanks him, but Clark has to go off to save the day. Tess shows up at the toy man's cell because they've captured the real toy man, and she shoots him in the leg first, and then says that she needs him to work on something, and she hands him the kryptonite heart that Metallo had earlier, and she says that she wants him to figure out how it works. So I'm glad maybe he'll be coming back, and hopefully Metallo will come back. We'll get a few hits in there, and then Clark and Lois are seen together, and Clark and Lois have, they're like, I shouldn't have stood you up, but it was a good thing. It was only something like a date, and it wasn't a real date, or nobody would have gotten another shot. Just their little way. That's how they talked in hypothetical. But overall, I'll give this episode a I don't know, guys. It was just really good. I really, really enjoyed the episode. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I mean, it could probably do more than that. I just really like this episode. A 9 out of 10 is what I would give it. But I really enjoyed it. I hope you all did too. Alright, thanks.